Hi everybody, this is Hana with Team Elite, where we inspire you to dream big and go bold. We are here with our Think and Grow Rich series. We are doing our live audiobook sessions. We are on Chapter 3, Faith, Part 2. So we're reading from the book Think and Grow Rich, and we have Vahid here giving us commentary, giving us the juice on all the secrets hidden behind all these words, guys. So let's jump into it. We are on page 57. This is the black and gold edition. Let's do this. The proof is simple and easily demonstrated. It is wrapped up in the principle of autosuggestion. Let us center our attention, therefore, upon the subject of self-suggestion and find out what it is and what it is capable of achieving. It is a well-known fact that one comes finally to believe whatever one repeats to oneself, whether the statement be true or false.
So if you keep repeating to yourself, you're going to start
believing it.
Believing it.
If a man repeats a lie over and over, he will eventually accept the lie as truth. Moreover, he will believe it to be the truth. Every man is what he is because of the dominating thoughts which he permits to occupy his mind. Thoughts which a man deliberately places in his own mind and encourages with sympathy, and with which he mixes any one or more of the emotions, constitute the motivating forces which direct and control his every movement, act, and deed. Comes now a very significant statement of truth. Thoughts are mixed with any of the feelings of emotions constitute a magnetic force which attracts from the vibrations of the ether other similar or related thoughts. A thought thus magnetized with emotion may be compared to a seed which, when planted in fertile soil, germinates, grows, and multiplies itself over and over again until that which was originally one small seed becomes countless millions of seed of the same brand.
So what we're talking about over here, just think about it as a magnet. When you hold a magnet, let's say you get a strong one, right? You get a strong magnet. It will attract. There's a radius of magnetic field around that magnet of how much pull it will be able to enforce upon another piece of iron or whatever the metallic object is, right? So that's the same thing we're talking about with your thoughts. Your thoughts, you should be thinking about them as vibration, but that might be a little bit, hard for people to imagine. But let's just reverse that. Let's just say if it was a magnetic force, you thinking about it and repeating to yourself over and over and over again, you're magnetizing this emotion and these thoughts where they're able to pull in from the universe what you desire to have. Mm-hmm. Simple.
And what is ether?
Ether is just the universe. Just think about it as the universe.
The ether.
You're putting it in the ether. You're putting it out there.
Okay. The ether is a great cosmic mass of eternal forces of vibration. It is made up of both destructive vibrations and constructive vibrations. It carries at all times vibrations of fear, poverty, disease, failure, misery, and vibrations of prosperity, health, success, and happiness.
So everything is there. What are you going to let go in? What positive, negative, fear, all that stuff. That's why repeating your affirmation is very, very important.
Just as surely as it carries the sound of hundreds of orchestrations of music and hundreds of human voices, all of which maintain their own individuality and means of identification through the medium of radio. From the great storehouse of the ether, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with that which dominates the human mind. Any thought, idea, plan, or purpose which one holds in one's mind attracts from the vibrations of the ether a host of its relatives, adds these relatives to its own force, and grows until it becomes the dominating, motivating master of the individual in whose mind it has been housed. Now let's go back to the starting point and become informed as to how the original seed of an idea, plan, or purpose may be planted in the mind. The information is easily conveyed. Any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thought. This is why you are asked to write out a statement of your major purpose or definite chief aim, commit it to memory, and repeat it in audible words day after day until these vibrations of sound have reached your subconscious mind. We are what we are because of the vibrations of thought which we pick up and register through the stimuli of our daily environment. Resolve to throw off the influences of any unfortunate environment and to build your own life to order. Taking an inventory of mental assets and liabilities, you will discover that your greatest weakness is a lack of self-confidence. This handicap can be surmounted, and timidity translated into courage through the aid of the principle of autosuggestion.
So what we're talking about over here is that by you That's why it's so important that whenever individuals raise their children, to be able to give them positive affirmation. Not saying, oh, you're not good at math, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. You got to be able to reinforce them so they could build up their self-confidence much faster, and it will come in use when they get older. That's why a lot of older generation, when you meet with them, when they want to go start their own business, they're hesitant. It doesn't mean that they can't do it. It's just that they don't have the self-confidence to do it. And the reason why they don't have the self-confidence is, chances are, their surroundings. A lot of people had negative affirmation going on constantly. That's why your surroundings are very, very important. You hang out with positive people, you will think everything is possible to do. You hang around negative people, you don't think you think the world is coming down to the end and it's just bad, economy is bad, it's horrible, nobody's making any money, all the horrible things that you could possibly think of.
The application of this principle may be made through a simple arrangement of positive thought impulses stated in writing, memorized, and repeated until they become a part of the working equipment of the subconscious faculty of your mind.
PMA, positive mental attitude.
Self-confidence formula.
That's actually
PMA.
That's actually a course by Napoleon Hill.
Really?
Yeah. So we're gonna get into that later on.
Hashtag PMA. I like that.
Yeah.
Self-confidence formula. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward, physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person.
So if you really want to, we're counting these things down, right?
Yes.
Let's say it takes for you 5 minutes to read your affirmation, right? Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, before you sleep, right? So that accumulates to about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. You want to have a little bit of a alone time to think about, to clear your mind. But so if we calculate this by reading these things, all that stuff, it's about an hour to 2 hours worth of work on daily basis.
Yes.
For you to be able to catch yourself, you're being positive or not, reading your affirmation, working on your plan. So this is actual work.
Yes.
That's why a lot of people, they read the book, they like the idea of becoming successful, but are you willing to put the amount of work that it takes? It's just like me thinking I'm going to have a six-pack and go to the gym and be all muscle and everything else, but just pass by the gym once in a while.
Yeah.
Everybody likes the idea of being healthy, being good, but most of the people are not willing to put the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about myself. I'm very too busy right now. I can't do that. But keep going.
Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence.
So, 30 minutes reading that, 10 minutes that, 10 minutes that. So we're talking about by the time you finish the book, all the work plan that Napoleon Hill has put for us, it will be about an hour or 2 hours worth of work every single day. Now, is it worth to do it?
Yeah.
See, nobody's got extra time. Mm-hmm. You got to make time for it. If you make time for it, then the reward would be success and the money that you desire and the wealth that you desire. Therefore, is it worth it for you to do or not? So it's an exchange. It's not a sacrifice. Mm-hmm. It's an exchange of, okay, do I want this or do I want that? Do I want to watch TV and news, garbage stuff? Do I want to talk, do gossiping in the office, do this? I mean, we all waste time, right? Or, a lot of people complain about traffic all the time, Hannah, right? Yeah. I love traffic.
Me too.
Traffic is the best thing ever. I wish we had more traffic. You know why? Because if I need to go from point A to point B, I already have things planned out for me to listen to while I'm driving to my destination. So in reality, I'm actually getting alone time with myself that I can probably expedite my work that I don't need to do at nighttime because I got that time. It doesn't matter if there's traffic or not. I'm driving. Now, obviously, you could be listening to the only thing I'm limited to, I can't take any notes in the car, but I can listen to all my audio stuff that I need to be listening to or talk on the phone, get the job that I need to be getting done sitting in the office anyway. So I'm being productive. Some people look at the traffic as a negative thing. I'm looking at it as a positive thing. That's PMA for you.
Mm-hmm. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity.
That's a hard one right there.
I wish everyone
Get rid of
could
your
do
ego, get rid of this, love everybody. That's difficult. I mean, Napoleon Hill wrote it because it's probably true. You need to do that. And you and I know that if we did have a world like that, it would eliminate a lot of the humanity challenges and difficulties we go through. But that's difficult because everybody's got ego, everybody's got jealousy, right? So everybody's got it, and we just got to keep it under wrap. We just got to control it. Make sure that you're not violating anybody's right. That's what Napoleon Hill's talking about. You know, you could go rob bank and become successful.
Yeah.
You know, you could go sell drugs and become successful also too. You can make a lot of money, right? But that's what it's trying to say. If it's not for the well-being of the humanity, don't do it.
Nice. By developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can bring me that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it out loud once a day, with full faith that I will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. Back of this formula is a law of nature which no man has yet been able to explain. It has baffled the scientists of all ages. The psychologists have named this law autosuggestion and let it go at that. The name by which one calls this law is of little importance. The important fact about it is it works for the glory and success of mankind if it is used constructively. On the other hand, if used destructively, it will destroy just as readily. In this statement may be found a very significant truth, namely that those who go down in defeat and end their lives in poverty, misery, and distress do so because of negative application of the principle of autosuggestion. The cause may be found in the fact that all impulses of thought have a tendency to clothe themselves in their physical equivalent. The subconscious mind, the chemical laboratory in all which thought impulses are combined and made ready for translation into physical reality, makes no distinction between constructive and destructive thought impulses. It works with the material we feed it through our thought impulses. The subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear, just as readily as it will translate into reality a thought driven by courage or faith.
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very important.
The pages of medical history are rich with illustration of cases of suggested suicide. A man may commit suicide through negative suggestion just as effectively as by any other means. In a Midwestern city, a man by the name of Joseph Grant, a bank official, borrowed a large sum of bank's money without the consent of the directors. He lost the money through gambling. One afternoon, the bank examiner came and began to check the accounts. Grant left the bank, took a room in a local hotel room, and when they found him 3 days later, he was lying in bed, wailing and moaning, repeating over and over these words, "My God, this will kill me. I cannot stand the disgrace." In a short time, he was dead. The doctors pronounced the case of mental suicide. Just as electricity will turn the wheels of industry and render useful service if used constructively, or snuff out life if wrongly used, so will the law of autosuggestion lead you, if wrongly used, to peace and prosperity, or down into the valley of misery, failure, and death, according to your degree of understanding and application of it. If you fill your mind with fear, doubt, and unbelief in your ability to connect with and use the forces of infinite intelligence, the law of autosuggestion will take this spirit of unbelief and use it as a pattern by which your subconscious mind will translate it into its physical equivalent.
Which is a negative outcome. So so it took him 3 days to commit suicide by his own mental activity, by him thinking about it, saying it, repeating it, and believing it that it will bring him disgrace, right? So why can't you do that for success? Because we know the negative happens, we read it, and we also know the positive happens, because a lot of people have used this book to make a lot of wealth.
Yeah, and what I'm getting is that almost, it's basically the same amount of effort. So if you're gonna put that out into the world, you
and it's
might
not
as well
labor
do it for
work.
yourself.
It's not a labor work. So you shouldn't get tired of it. Just repeating it out loud. How much energy does it take to repeat it out loud? It's not that bad. Y'all could do it.
This statement is as true as the statement that 2 and 2 are 4. Like the wind which carries one ship east and another west, the law of autosuggestion will lift you up or pull you down according to the way you set your sails of thought. The law of autosuggestion, through which any person may rise to altitudes of achievement which stagger the imagination, is well described in the following verse. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or late the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Observe the words which have been emphasized, and you will catch the deep meaning which the poet had in mind. Somewhere in your makeup, perhaps in the cells of your brain, there lies sleeping the seed of achievement, which, if aroused and put into action, would carry you to heights such as you may never have hoped to attain. Just as a master musician may cause the most beautiful strains of music to pour forth from the strings of a violin, so may you arouse the genius which lies asleep in your brain and cause it to drive you upward to whatever goal you may wish to achieve. Abraham Lincoln was a failure at everything he tried until he was well past the age of 40. He was a Mr. Nobody from nowhere until a great experience came into his life.
But right now it's called failure. Down the line in life it's called experience. So by 40, he did fail at a lot of different things. But what part that we're not looking at is like, wow, how much vast amount of experience did he grab during those 40 years that he was doing different things and didn't bring him the success that he was looking for. But he was gaining that experience, which is very invaluable because eventually he became the president and ratified different amendments. We won't get into it.
Yeah, it's almost like it took him 40 years to be prepared for everything he did afterwards.
Exactly. But not everybody looks at it like that.
No. Until a great experience came to his life, aroused the sleeping genius within his heart and brain, and gave the world one of its really great men. That experience was mixed with the emotions of sorrow and love. It came to him through Anne Rutledge, the only woman he had ever truly loved. It is a known fact that the emotion of love is closely akin to the state of mind known as faith, and this is for the reason that love comes very near to translating one's thought impulses into their spiritual equivalent. During his work of research, the author discovered from the analysis of the life work and achievements of hundreds of men of outstanding accomplishment that there was the influence of a woman's love back of nearly every one of them. The emotion of love in the human heart and brain creates a favorable field of magnetic attraction which causes an influx of the higher and finer vibrations which are afloat in the ether. If you wish evidence of the power of faith, study the achievements of men and women who have employed it. At the head of the list comes the Nazarian. Christianity is the greatest single force which influences the minds of men. The basis of Christianity is faith. No matter how many people have perverted or misinterpreted the meaning of this great force, and no matter how many dogmas and creeds have been created in its name, which do not reflect its tenets. The sum and substance of the teachings and the achievements of Christ, which may have been interpreted as miracles, were nothing more or less than faith. If there are any such phenomena as miracles, they are produced only through the state of mind known as faith. Some teachers of religion, and many who call themselves Christians, neither understand nor practice faith. Let us consider the power of faith, and it is now being demonstrated by a man who is well known of all civilization, Mahatma Gandhi of India. In this man, the world has one of the most outstanding examples known to civilization of the possibilities of faith. Gandhi wields more potential power than any living at this time, and this despite the fact that he has none of the orthodox tools of power such as money, battleships, soldiers, and materials of warfare. Gandhi has no money, he has no home, he does not own a suit of clothes, but he does have power. How does he come by that power? He created it out of his understanding of the principle of faith, and through his ability to transplant that faith into the minds of 200 million people. Gandhi has accomplished through the influence of faith that which the strongest military power on earth could not, and never will accomplish through soldiers and military equipment. He has accomplished the outstanding feat of influencing 200 million minds to coalescence and move the unison as a single mind. What other force on earth except faith could do as much? There will come a day when employees as well as employers will discover the possibilities of faith. That day is dawning. The whole world has an ample opportunity during the recent business depression to witness what the lack of faith does to a business. Surely civilization has produced a sufficient number of intelligent human beings to make use of this great lesson which the depression has taught the world. During this depression, the world had evidence and abundance that widespread fear will paralyze the wheels of industry and business. Out of this experience will arise leaders in the business and industry who will profit by the example which Gandhi has set for the world, and they will apply to business the same tactics which he has used in building the greatest following known in the history of the world.
That's crazy. 200 million, probably more now.
Yeah.
Right? So it's one of those things that I mean, how many successful people do you know right now that are like jumping over there and they want to write books and materials and give it out as cheap as Napoleon Hill gave it out for people to be successful? So we definitely want to enroll a lot of successful people that want to contribute to the betterment of the world through their faith.
Yes.
Because you have enough faith that we could help a lot of families make enough money, flourish. You know, there's enough wealth in the world to go around for all of us to live comfortably. So if you want to continue the rest on the next video, we could do that also too, huh?
Yeah, let's do that, guys. This is a very thick chapter on faith. This is a lot.
It's a good chapter. I love
This is
it.
a lot of stuff going on. So, guys, we're going to get back to you on the next one. Once again, comment down below, what did you learn from this session? If you guys have any comments, any concerns that we can address for you guys, help you guys out, we're here to help. Once again, we are Team Elite on Instagram. We are Napoleon.Hill for more Think and Grow Rich material. And we will see you guys for the next video.
All right, take care.